Ever since I can remember, I always knew I was adopted. My mom and dad never kept it a secret from me. And whenever I asked them, where'd I come from? They would always tell me the story of how they flew across the ocean to China to adopt me and bring me back to the U.S. as their daughter. In August of 1997, a young couple, Patrick and Diane Schneider, flew over 7,000 miles along with 13 other soon-to-be parents to China. They landed in Beijing, where they were put up in a hotel and given a tour of their Forbidden City and Tiananmen Square, along with other Chinese national monuments. They next went to Nanjing, the capital of Jiangsu Province of the People's Republic of China, to sign adoption papers and were given another tour. The families finally arrived in Suzhou, what is known as the Venice of China, to finally meet their soon-to-be daughters. They went to another hotel where they met the orphanage directors and were told to wait in the hallway for their new daughters. One after another, the babies came rolling out of the doors and were given to their respective parents. All the parents had a little piece of paper with Chinese characters on it that matched the tag on their soon-to-be daughters. I was the very last to be brought out. When they handed me over to my parents for the first time, I had a really bad cold. After all the babies had been brought out, everyone got together and took a group photo in the lobby. My parents never went to the orphanage. The caretakers gave them photos of the orphanage, which was also attached to an elderly home. The elderly would often come to the orphanage to socialize with the babies. Later that night, there was a banquet set up by the orphanage for all the families. They brought out a full roasted pig, and it had glowing red lights for eyes, my mom would tell me. Your father and I would dispute over which one of us got to take you out of the room, as you were pitching a fit the whole time. When the trip was over, my parents and the rest of the families flew back across the ocean and returned home with the new addition in the family. When we landed in Sky Harbor International Airport, we were met by my father's brother and his wife, my Uncle John and my Aunt Jane. They were so excited to finally meet me. I was practically their first grandchild. When we finally got home, there were 3 dogs waiting my arrival: Bud, Katie, and Aaron. My parents got a little book called Big Dog and Little Dog to familiarize me with dogs before I met them. My parents weren't sure how I'd react to a dog, as there aren't a lot of dogs in China, and many people in China grew up being afraid of dogs. Almost the very next day, my mom, dad, and I went to the courthouse to get my citizenship and my name changed. The name I was given at the orphanage was Xian Wen Yu. My parents changed it to Hannah Xian Schneider. I am truly happy to have been adopted by the family I have now. I know that I may never meet my biological parents, but I'm okay with that. I do sometimes think about what my life would have been like if I never was adopted, but I am very grateful to have been adopted by my parents, as they are my one and only true family.